Okenna just came in from Lagos and started shouting, crying, Mama, 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 they have killed us. They have finished us, Mama. Mama came out of her beautiful bungalow that her first son, Dubem, built for her less than 1 year ago. Looking at Dubem's younger brother, Okenna, Mama said, Okenna, Ogene, what happened? What happened? Mama, Dubem sent me to come and see you and tell you what has happened, what has been happening to us. He was supposed to come and see you as we planned last week, but he couldn't. Mama, we woke up last week, Tuesday, got ready fast as usual, and went to the Ijaye market where our shops are. Where our shops are located in Lagos. You know, we have 5 whole shops in that Ijaye market. Mama, we felt we were in a trance by the time we got there. Everywhere was leveled flat. Mama, all the shops, everything. We looked at each other. Mama, we didn't know when we started crying. Tears were rolling down our faces. All the other shop owners there were equally in tears. We then saw a message they sent at 2:30 a.m. inside the night that demolition of the market will start by 3 a.m. Mama, we lost everything. We lost everything. Mama said, okay now, is that all? Mama, Mama, we lost everything. Mama said, but you are alive, right? What about Dubem? Is he alive? Mama, he's alive, said Okenna. Mama said, very good. And your cousins and friends and partners in the area, are they all alive? Yes, Mama, said Okenna, they are all alive. Mama, the demolition was done speedily. Nobody could take out a pin. And it's not like they provided us with alternatives. They told us to pay millions of naira just 2 months ago. They called it one name like that. I don't know, I don't remember. Our chairman called us all together and told us it's a once only payment, that it's better we pay in order not to provoke India. And each shop contributed hundreds of thousands of naira to meet the demand. Mama, I know Dubem paid 700,000 to them. Mama, that was just 2 months ago. Now this. Mama said, they have done what they have the power to do. But there's something they cannot do. They can only do it if you give them permission to. Okenna said, Mama, what is that? Mama said, before I answer you now, welcome back. How was your journey? How was Nubu soup and eba? Come inside and eat first. Mama continued, yes, before you eat, it's important that I know what your brother Dubem has said in all this. What did he say apart from the tears running down his face? What did he say? Okenna said, Mama, Dubem has not said anything. He only told me to come and see you and explain why he hasn't come as he promised. Mama said, what Dubem says is the most important thing to me now. The losses are huge, but it doesn't matter. What about his wife Nelo and the children? Okenna said, Mama, they are all fine. Mama now continued, what he says is what counts now. Eat. When you are done, call him and tell him he should come home. I want to talk to him. A week later, Dubem came home. Mama woke him up early in the morning and began to talk to him. Dubem, now, you have been working hard to be a success since your father passed on when you were small. I shouldn't tell you your story, but I have been there all along, so I can tell it. The world mocked us to pieces because we were poor. Even the poor called us poor. Your uncle took everything from us, and I couldn't fight him, and you were too small to challenge him. The small farmland your uncle left for us because he thought it was a barren land was what I kept cultivating and asking the Lord to help us. We never begged. God blessed that land and it became very, very fruitful. So fruitful that I overheard your uncle's wife saying that I used juju. Since she wasn't talking to me directly, I didn't answer her. Let the God who made the land very fruitful answer her. I thought you should go to Mahadum, that is the university, but you thought otherwise. You said learning to trade immediately would help you support me and your younger brother faster, because even after going to the university, that you would still go and be an apprentice to learn to trade. You said you didn't want me to keep struggling and die struggling. I didn't quite understand it all, but you were determined. I blessed you, and your daddy's old friend accepted you as an apprentice. Within 2 years, you were the one in charge of all his shops. You became his most trusted apprentice. By your 4th year with him, he brought you home for a reason. He called our Umona, our kindred, and told them he was settling you unofficially. Apprenticeship ought to be for 7 whole years, but he came in 4 years to settle you. He announced to all that the settlement is that you would own one of his own shops and you would give him just 1/3 of the profits every year while continuing to oversee all his other shops. You have been going forward from there. Your Oga treats you like his own biological son. To marry, he stood by you like the father you hardly knew. He stood with you and for you. Even when your uncle tried to make things difficult, your Oga silenced him. We have had the marvelous help of God. Nam, this one will not kill us. It came, so it must pass. Hold yourself together. They took away and destroyed material things. They couldn't take away your vision. They cannot take away what makes you the Dubem I know. They didn't take away your spirit. They didn't take away your ability to rise and conquer. Dubem shouted, "Yes, Mama, they didn't take it away. Mama, they did not take it away. Mama, I will rise again. They buried me, Mama. They buried me. But they never knew I am a great seed. They never knew I am a great seed. Mama, we pull through this. I will, Mama. I will come back to you with a new song. A bigger business song, Mama." The next day, Dubem went back to Lagos, ready to take on the world. His wife had a wedding to attend in 2 weeks, and she wanted bone straight wig for this high society wedding. Her friends would all be there. She is beautiful and adorable naturally, without any makeup safe. And she's among the special Ashebi wearers. Ashebi fabric alone for that wedding is 2.5 million naira. The bone straight wig is a bit cheaper, about 750,000 naira for the main original. So in other words, to attend the wedding, she would need over 3 million naira. The amount was too heavy in Nello's mouth to tell Dubem. She went to one of her friends, her very, very good friend, who is also in the special Ashebi's group. That one said, Nello, you know some men are very stingy, and I think your husband is among them. My husband gave me 4 million naira for this wedding. Nello said, wow, really? No, I am asking him. I have asked him to give me just 2.5 million. I would then make up the rest. But he refused though. He reminded me of his shops that got demolished. Ifeoma, her friend, said, his shops were demolished? Was he the only one whose shops were demolished? Was it, in fact, let's face it, was it his bank account or bank accounts that got demolished? You're not sharp, oh. Nello, I just see you. You are just one dull girl. Nello said, what do I do, please? This wedding is a must for me, oh. Ifeoma said, Nello, do you not know how to get him? He is probably feeling down, but that's no reason to be stingy on your wife that has been supporting you all these years. This wedding is one, so you can rebuild business, but you cannot repeat the show of glamour we would do at the wedding. It is a wedding of premium or nothing, and according to our people, it's a pepper them showdown. We shall hold social media hostage for at least 1 week. They shall talk and talk about us, Nello, shine your eyes, oh. Some of these husbands, except you shake them up, they will be treating you like their house helps, oh. Sometimes when my own Oga starts his nonsense, all I do is hold him down if he wants to go out. He knows well enough never to lift a finger to hit me. If he tries it, of course he knows he will go to prison straight. Nello went home troubled. Should I or should I not? Dubem has been nice to me. Things are rough for him, for us now, because of this demolition. And his goods that he fully paid for arrived just 5 days before the demolition. They were still unpacking the trucks that brought them. So over dinner that same day, Nello raised the discussion with Dubem again. Dubem listened out and calmly said, Nello, which is more important to you, the wedding or our snapping back in business? When you spend millions that you don't have to look fine for men and women to admire you, what would happen after the wedding? Would every person that sees you and admires you put money in your account? Are you the bride? If you don't attend the wedding, would the event not hold? Ashebi is 2.5 million naira. Nello, think. They have opened office over your head, oh. So wait, if you had that money in your account, you would carry it and go and give your fellow woman that is sitting down in her house, You will do that, Nelo. Are you okay? I shall be my foot. I love you and I have been providing for you, including making provision for some of your vanities. Nello asked, vanities? Dubem said, yes, vanities, because I really don't consider some of the things you ask for necessary. If from the monthly allowance I give you, plus the profits you make from your shop, you could just do the wasteful spending, okay. But you come to me and I sponsor some of them, and within a few months, you shift to another set of vanities. And if I know women, and if I know you, Nello, by the time you wear this, you are shabby, just that once, you wouldn't wear it again because you don't want others to think it's the only dress you have. If you give that money to someone to start a business, do you know how much he or she would make in just 1 year? But everything in this world is not business, Nello said, pouting. Dubem responded, "Ne, if you don't know this simple stuff, I wonder what you really know. Everything is business. The couple that is wedding, Ulisa and Zara, made strategic plans and set money traps for people like you. And at the end of the day, they would check how much they got and check if the event was profitable or not. Abi, did you not tell your sister to count the cash we got that day at our own wedding? Everything is business, my darling wife. Everything is business, period. Nello went to her kitchen and started talking to herself. Nello said, Dubem, I don't know. I don't know why he has changed. He is not the only one that lost shops and property. Why can't he do this simple thing for me? Is it not an indication of lack of love? This wedding is important to me. Zara has been my friend since childhood. Her mom is my mom's friend. You get as it be now if I am missing at that wedding. No, I must attend though. Ha. The next day, she went back to Ifeoma's house for more Ashebi update. Ifeoma asked, how ready are you for the wedding, Seth, Nelo? Nello said, Ifeoma, I really don't know. This wedding is very important to me. What about you? Are you ready now? Ifeoma said, I've been ready since now. Ifeoma, my oga refused to. I think I want to go and even borrow the money now and pay back gradually later. My business will generate the money. You know my shop for toys, and you know how parents love to buy toys for their children, especially as holidays will soon start. Ifeoma said, yeah, that's a great idea. These men can be funny sometimes. They want to spoil our fun by all means. Now, wow, who do you want to go to save? I know one money lender that lends me money from time to time, Sha, and he doesn't ask for too much. Not too much interest. He will just ask for a good collateral, maybe land or house. Nello said, that's no problem. I have our residential house papers. Ifeoma said, yes, that would do. I hope you can pay back in like 6 months. Nello said, yes, I am aiming to pay back in 3 months, sir. I want to borrow 10 million naira. Ifeoma said, that's okay. Let's go there tomorrow. Dubem traveled to Ibadan. He went for an online marketing training he paid for. He would be away for 2 whole weeks. He wants to set up online shops since he doesn't want the trauma of shop demolition anymore. And he is planning big for it. Amazon sells things all over the world, sells stuff to people all over the world. Dubem said, I want to have a global shop or shops. My shops would be open 24/7, come rain, come shine. Nello has access to the property papers of the duplex Dubem built a few years ago that they live in now. She collected the papers and went with Ifeoma to the money lender. She signed all the documents and collected the 10 million naira and gave the house papers to the man. Nelo was so happy and thanked Ifeoma profusely. Ifeoma said, what are friends for? Nelo dashed her 100,000 naira for all the trouble. She paid the 2.5 million naira for the ashebi and bought the most expensive bone straight wig in the shop she went to, and the price was 1 million naira. Dubem was still in Ibadan when the wedding held. Nelo was at the wedding with her full chest, feeling cool and tough. Her steps were measured, really calculated. Praise singers noticed her and ran to her, singing for her. She threw 50,000 naira at them, and they sang even more, calling her Miss Nigeria, Miss Universe, as she was entering the reception. The couple stepped out to do their couple's dance. Nello danced long with the couple and sprayed 500,000 naira on them. However, she got the shock of her life when in awe she didn't see her friend Ifeoma. Ifeoma was nowhere to be seen. She asked around. Nobody seemed to have seen her. Nello called Ifeoma on the phone and said, Ify, you're not at the wedding? Ifeoma said, No, I had malaria last night. And I decided to attend my children's inter-house sports event since my face looks stressed up because of the malaria. How is it going, Seth? Nello dropped the phone on her. Meanwhile, Ifeoma was in her sitting room with her daughter, and she burst out laughing and said, "Foolish girl, shebi your husband has too much money and we won't hear, and you are a classy gege chick. Eat 2.5 million naira shebi after the wedding, ewu." Ifeoma's daughter asked, "Mommy, why are you saying bad things about your friend at her back?" Ifeoma said, "Nne, that lady is too proud because her husband has money. She is proud and senseless." The little girl said, "But mommy, my Sunday school teacher taught me that it is okay if you can't help someone, but do not go out of your way to hurt them." Ifeoma said, "My dear, forget it though. It is her foolishness that hurt her, not me. Mommy, there's something you did, that's why you quickly told her a lie." Ifeoma said, "Ngwa biko, go and do your homework. Leave this place now. Go to your room." Big trouble has just opened office on Nello's head. 1 month passed and sales dropped badly in her toys shop. Nello had given 1 million naira to her brother who had been failing JAMB and now wants to travel to Italy. The 1 million is to help him in processing international passports and other travel documents. She used the remaining money to buy more goods for her shop. Well, sales at the end of the second month was only 300,000 naira. By the 6th month, she didn't even have up to 2 million naira to pay the man that is expecting his full 10 million naira back. 7th month, the man called and said, "We are going to do our own since you have done your own. We are selling the house right away. The papers you signed say so." The Shylock money lender sold the house to the head of an area boys gang group in Lagos. By the 8th month, they came to take possession of the property. They went to the house and threw out every property Dubem and his wife owned. Dubem didn't know how his house went into the hands of this gang leader. The shock was too much for him. Call police? The gang came with police though. Dubem's brother Okenna and some of the business apprentices he had were there to help load his things into 3 trucks his friends had hired. While they were parking, Nelo was crying and begging Dubem. She had confessed what she did. Dubem was deeply wounded. Hurt is a very light word. He said coldly, "But I warned you. I told you to forget about that wedding. It's not everyone that knew about the wedding that attended it. Now see what has happened. You are my wife, not a visitor, not a friend. You are my wife. You know what has been happening to my business. And yet, Nello, you did this. You have done the unthinkable. I think it's just better you go back to the village. Let me get myself together. You could go to stay with my own mom. Okenna will take you and the children home tomorrow. Forget about forgiveness for now. I have lost my shops. I have also lost the house I built less than 3 years ago with my hard-earned money because of your friend's wedding, Nelo, because of your friend's wedding. We have no place to go to. Thank God for friends. An enemy inside is worse than an enemy outside. So just go, please. This is a very bad hit. But I know I will recover. 2 months after, Dubem had been taking his training and practicing, he launched his first shop and made 40 sales in just one day, the very first day. And there's no selling on credit. All the money went into his account. And in a week, he did over 3,000 sales, faster than he does in his physical shop. He started opening more shops for different goods and had the whole of Africa as his market. And the sales were going on whether he was awake or asleep. It looked too good to be true. Meanwhile, his uncle in the village, who had always been against Dubem, is busy feeling bitter against Dubem's wife Nello and her 2 sons. He heard about the demolition and was very happy. That time he came to Dubem's mom and said, "Wani, is it true that Dubem's shops were demolished by that wicked government?" Dubem's mother asked, "Who told you?" He muttered something, and Dubem's mother asked again, "What is it to you whether his shops are affected by demolition or not? Do you buy anything from Dubem?" The man responded, "It is as if you woke up on the wrong side this morning. And he left. Things happened fast for Dubem. The online market was such a big blast for him. He was selling goods to many nations in Africa, from Ghana to Kenya to South Africa to Mali to Niger Republic to Egypt, Senegal, Congo to Gabon to Morocco to Gambia. Just name it. He was receiving orders from all over Africa. Dubem and Okenna went to inspect a house they want to buy in Banana Island, Lagos. A beautiful mansion. They agreed to make the payment in dollars by the end of the week. His friend and online colleagues began to ask about his wife Nello. Dubem said, "Nello followed a wicked and jealous friend's advice and landed us in trouble. She's a good girl, but too simple, too naive. I will send her to a proper practical business school." Of course, my brother Okenna took over her shop and sold off everything as I instructed him. She will come back after 1 full year with my mom. Then she would go to a business school for ladies I read about online. It's a kind of business and sense school, a wisdom school for women. They run it for 2 whole years. It's done online, but a few weekends they go for on-site training. A lot of misleading and misinformation, miseducation happen these days, and many people are negatively impacted. She would likely have her own online business or whatever she chooses when she is done with her training. Wow, Dubem. They tried to bury him, but they didn't know he was a great seed that must sprout and become mighty. What do you really think about this our Dubem? Have you ever been faced with the losses he was faced with? What did you do in response? He let his never give up, never giving spirit take over. Do you have some advice for the Dubems in our communities? What about Ifeoma? What do you think of friends like her? Have you ever had a so-called friend like her? What about Nello and her type? What advice do you have for her? Please let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Please encourage us to roll out more African folktales, more African real life stories by giving this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Yes, please remember to click the bell icon so you will be among the first to know when we upload another very interesting story. And please share our stories with your friends and family. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being there for us. This is African Folktales ChinChin. Till our next story video, remain truly amazing. Goodbye.